Good morning, welcome, smarthelping.com here. We're going to go over the import range function in Google Sheets. Before I do, I have a couple announcements. Number one, I was out of town this week, so I didn't stream on Monday. I will be streaming this coming up Monday at 5 p.m. EST. And I have a great idea for a tracker that will be built in Google Sheets for employee benefits for an HR department to use to track everything to do with employee benefits, status. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be useful. Um, don't forget to subscribe. Uh, hit the little notifications bell as well. Also, don't forget to check out smarthelping.com. I've got over 100 financial model templates and tracker tools to use in Excel and Google Sheets. Um, and thanks for the support there. Okay, so this morning I'm going over import range. It's a function I've used. I make a living obviously working in Excel and Google Sheets in all kinds of capacities. And one of the other functions, last week I did a tutorial on the sum ifs, and that was a very popular function that I used in almost all my work. Another one is the import range function. So import range is for Google Sheets. Um, Now, Google Sheets is free to use. All you need is a Google account, which is free to sign up for, and it does everything in Excel. It does some things better, some things worse. What it does, I think, better is communication between different workbooks, which is import range. There's also some other functions that are nice. So import range allows you to communicate between different workbooks and pull data pretty easily. Ranges of data are just a single cell, and you can also use import range with query functions and sort, uh, filter. All you can do all kinds of things with import range. It's really cool. So we'll get into the basics and then maybe a little bit more advanced stuff. But I thought if you're just getting into Google Sheets, you should know this function for sure. It's one of the first ones I ended up having to learn, and I still use it. I'll be doing work today, and I'll be using the function for sure. Um, One thing about Google Sheets is if you are using it, it's got great document management. So, like, you can go to share, you can lock a workbook so that only your email can access it and nobody else's, or you can give yourself edit access and give other people view access. Um, that's one of the main things with import range. Let's say I got, you know, a worksheet that has data on it. Let me make a couple. Let's say I've got a couple worksheets here that have data on it from employees, and I want to aggregate that data without the employees seeing what the other employees are doing. Like for workbook 2, I have data here 1, 2, 3, and workbook 3, I've got, some other data points. And then I want to show a summary of this where I can see it as a manager, but I don't want um, the employees that are using workbook 2 to see what the employees in workbook 3 are doing or have. For a million different reasons, you might not want to or employees to see each other's workbooks for whatever. So you can set up all the permissions so only certain emails can view one workbook or the other one, and then for you, so this is cool. Here we go. So the import range, it's pretty simple. We can do equals import range open. I, it's not a bracket. Open parenthesis. I think. I hope I'm saying that right because I'm not sure. Now you can either do the entire URL, so you can do quotation marks, and you can actually just highlight this whole thing and put it in here. And then you do close quotation, comma, and then now you're gonna do it. It knows what workbook to go to, but now the function needs to know what tab. So you go another parenthesis, and then let's say this is just sheet 1. So we'll do sheet 1, and then you do exclamation mark to tell what cell to go to. And we're just going to say we want cells A2 to A4. So A2, A4, close parenthesis, and then close it off. Oh, what happened? Oh, I spelled import wrong. IMP, my bad. Oh, it's early for me. IMPORTR. There we go. So now, and it'll say you need to give access to the sheet so they can connect. You hit allow access. Oh, whoops, I forgot to put sheet 1. I just had sheet. And there you go. So 1, 2, 3. Data updates pretty quick. If I update this to like 100, go over to the other workbook, there it's already updated. So let's say there's a range. Now I want to do a second range for workbook 3, so I can again highlight this whole thing, or you can highlight just this, just the ID of the workbook, which is going to be this string here is always in the same spot on the Google link, the Google Sheet link. And I want to replace the source with the second column with this new workbook. It's still called sheet 1, and its date is still in A2 to A4. So that's all fine already. And we hit that, give access. Now look, now we've got that data. So we've got book 1 and book 2. All right, so you could think about a million different uses to do with this. Let's say you have multiple columns like Ted, Jim. Let's say you have multiple names here. You want to pull those through. You just extend the range to do, instead of A2 to A4, I'm going to go A2 to B4. And now you can see I can look at all that. We could put a sort around this. I'm pretty sure. So sort, you go sort the range, column 1, and then we'll do true. So there's now going lowest to highest. If we did false, it should go highest to lowest. And there you go, 763 now. So you can put functions around, and the other data is adjusting with it. So you can put like import the range and then do a sort, or you could do like a filter. Let's say I wanted to filter that, but I only wanted to say if let's see. Oh, not Ted, red Ted. And I don't do this a whole lot, but I know you can do it. Filter. Let's get this back. You may have to do 2. So let's say filter A2 to B4. If A2 to A4 equals Ted. I keep putting a red instead of Ted. Oh wait, that's actually the second column. There we go. Okay, so that worked. So you can see I can actually only pull certain data if I only want to see like stuff from TED. You do import the whole range if B is equal to that. So as long as your ranges are matched, it'll work. So that's pretty cool. Other stuff to know about this. Let's just get back to our base formula here. I'll put this back to just column A. Other things, you can reference for easier document management, so you don't have to keep pulling this. You could put like the workbook IDs here and label them so you know what goes to what. And then instead of like having this whole big link or the ID, you can actually just go in here. And now you can just do E2. You don't need parentheses or quotations around it. You just E2 is this reference. It knows to go to that workbook and then get that range and pull it back. Simple as that. And then I can do this one. Can go to E3. And that can make it easier if you have a list of workbooks you want to pull data from. You just do import range, reference that, and then pull whatever range you want. You can then do analysis on it, summarize it. Again, you could filter it to only pull certain data from the range that you're pulling from, like I showed you with the filter function. Um, and that's all the basics. And knowing this will allow you to do nearly anything you want with import range. You can now have data talking to each other from different workbooks. Um, do analysis or management on multiple workbooks in aggregate that data into one workbook. I'll leave this link in the description box below so you can kind of see. I'll probably put this as a view only, and then if you want to mess with it yourself, you could hit File, make a copy, just to get the syntax of the functions here. I know when I first started learning functions, knowing the commas and the quotations and all that was the hardest thing to remember. But the more you do it, the easier it gets for sure. We'll put a little thing here, check out more at smarthelping.com. And Excel, so this is one reason why Google Sheets is nice. Excel has it has other things that it's good at. But if you're just getting into Google Sheets, this is definitely one of the functions you're gonna want to know. It makes life easier. Uh, Another use case, let's say you have a bunch of data in different workbooks that's aggregating from other places, and then you want to see the roll up of that in a nice clean workbook, and then you want to do analysis on it. You could import it into the workbook and then do some calculations on it. Um, and there's some things with that. If you keep the format the same, it can be a really good way to summarize all kinds of data from different workbooks into one spot. But once you have the data in here, you could do whatever you want. Like I could do, you know, some, and it recognizes those values as for what they are. All right. Well, that's all I got for now. Monday I'll be streaming. I'm gonna be in Google Sheets again, and I will be doing a employee benefits tracker. It's gonna be pretty cool. Um, so stay tuned for that and take it easy.